All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Beastars, Season 1.
Season 1, oh.
Yeah, just in case, because I believe they are working on the second season.
Awesome.
So yeah, Season 1, Episode 1. Oh my
boy.
God. Like, y'all, This is a show that has been hotly requested for a long time. This is a show that we very much wanted to watch, but, you know, we've held off until it's a good time to watch it. And y'all went crazy in that poll and decided, you know what? What happens if Semblance of Sanity poll ties? I don't know. Does the universe
explode?
Split? Yeah. No, we make a weird clickbait video and flip a coin, but don't show you actually what the coin flipped on. And to this day, I actually forgot what the coin actually landed on.
It actually would have been Beastars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't even remember.
No.
Oh, yeah, the Tails joke. Right.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah, but no, we're doing both. So Beastars is a 3D anime, I believe.
Right, which
is
I
exciting.
just found out very recently. I am very excited to see this.
Like, that reminds me, you know, Hoseki no Kuni kind of like recently changed a lot of my opinions on a fully 3D anime because that was such a treat, like a visual treat.
Yep.
But this is kind of touted as like the anime Zootopia.
Right,
you know?
which I loved Zootopia. And my favorite movie for the longest time was Wolf Children. So, yeah, I'm so down for this.
And there definitely is a wolf in a lot of the promotional material kind of stuff. Yeah.
And if it's something where, if it's 3D, right? If they're animals, that could probably help also avoid, not that we would have much of an issue with an uncanny valley, but if there was an issue with it because they're animals, we would probably not need to worry about that.
It's not going to be as big of a deal. So that's really exciting. One of the things that I'm really kind of looking forward to with this show is that this is a show that has been actually out in certain distribution ways for a while.
Oh.
But because of Netflix being like stupid with regards to how it like, you know, sends things out and things like that, you know, we have to like have to wait a little bit and stuff like that. But I'm really, really excited to like see what is this kind of like animal focused, you know, anime. But But you know, I've got the like my own like kind of preconceptions of like past things when an anime is just like animals and stuff like that. That there's going to be some kind of like
no. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is not a furry anime.
No, but that's my my point. I am looking forward to having my eyes enlightened as to like some new kinds of stories that can be told via just anime, because anime can tell so many unique stories and stuff. So yeah, without further ado, y'all, let's just jump right into it. Ooh.
Oh,
string.
This
sounds sad. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh crap. Oh.
Wait.
Whoa. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh damn.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm gonna cry in this anime. I am going to cry.
Yeah.
Oh crap. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm loving the 3D.
Yeah,
it's
looks
working. It working.
Looks so good.
Oh.
I had actually completely forgotten that
that's
it was
awesome.
3D. That's cool. Yeah.
So if like we have night vision, this voice actor, I know them. This doesn't feel like it's the wolf though.
Right, it feels like something else.
Oh crap.
Okay.
Oh, this is intense.
Yeah.
The strings are so good. Okay, so that whole discussion is going to be brought up a bit. Expressing one's instincts. Oh, okay. Is this a society of suppression? That's why they have their anthropomorphic aspects. They're like trying to reject what makes them their own individual animal species.
Oh man.
Ah.
Ooh. Oh. And that's when it eats him. Okay.
Damn, okay.
All right.
So we've got a school. That's good. Oh my god, this looks so good.
It really does.
Oh! Oh.
Oh.
What? Why is... Oh. Oh god. This is some heavy stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
Herbivore food items. And then...
Okay. What's going on here?
Oh. Is that
it's
our
probably
main
our
character?
wolf, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The one in the back there actually looks like similar to the silhouette. It was shown for a little bit. But it was really tall and fluffy and it had the round ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Grim Reaper in the back behind there. Bear not your...
fangs, but your heart.
Yeah, wow.
Oh.
Oh my god, Jesus. Curfew strictly. There. Female herbivore dorm. Well.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how the scratching actually sounds like a lamb that's like strangled or something.
Oh, sure.
Oh no, he's just like depressed, like. Oh jeez. Or maybe not. Oh. Oh. Oh jeez. That's rough. He's been holding on to that and he's like, I don't know. He's dead now. So like, oh. Yeah, they were probably good friends if anything. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, like in front of the friend? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, this is a great way to start a story.
Yeah. Wow. And I love that we haven't seen anything really from the wolf's perspective other than like that bit at the very beginning.
Yeah. Oh. Jeez.
Oh, man.
Oh. Okay. Like a popular kid, maybe a little bit older. He's got like the Deathly Hollows in his
Jeez.
Whoa. What the hell? Favor to ask, come with me? I don't like this guy at all.
No.
Like, well, I mean, first impressions are pretty bad, just saying.
Having the first thing out of his mouth be something that's, what would that be, speciesist?
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Things are
Sheraton.
Layered. Just gonna say, it seems like such a cat thing, though, to like.
Yes.
Oh my god. Wow. Really? That's like. Wow. Wait.
These are roommates?
These are her roommates? Oh. Shoot. I thought this was. Yeah, I thought this was just some. I just thought this was some random. Oh. What's the reason why they don't help her? Oh. Okay, so there's some things they're setting up here. This is cool.
Wow.
But it doesn't seem to be a herbivore carnivore thing. I
私の悪口学校中にまき散らしてる暇があったら早いとこ彼とより戻せば。はあ、どの口が言ってるの？事の発端は勝手にキスしてきたのは彼の方よ。
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Wow.
私たちはウサギの中でも絶滅危惧種のハーレクイーン。どこにも平凡なドワーフ種のあんたが決闘のカップルを壊したの。あんたが他のオスとも遊びまくってること。学校中。
Oh my gosh. Jesus.
明日の投資までにこいつに合わせて直せ。え？ゾーイがテムの代役だ。昨日のリーダー会議で決まった。なあ。はい。
Oh. Whoa, did you see that? Whoa.
どうした？口を開けてみろ。なあ、台本を食っちまったのか。君たちヤギの能力と言ったら髪を食うこと。
Jesus.
先輩、どうしてテムの代役がゾーイなんです？オーディションでは。
That Bakugo?
最終選考でノックをしろ。カイ、レゴシとは仲良くしておけよ。今後同じ美術チームで頑張るんだ。お前を役者チームから下ろすことが会議で決まった。
ちょっとあなたたち柔軟を終えたの？
Okay, there's all kinds of layered things going on here.
役者チームに在籍してお前が成し遂げたことといえば今言った2つの本番中のミス。
Whoa.
役者の安全第一。裏方の大切な任務なんだ。
Jeez.
争いを避けるために牙を見せつけるとは意外だよ。普段草木のような君も獰猛さは秘めているらしいな。失礼します。
What the hell?
来い。今夜行動に忍び込んでゾーイに稽古をつける。え？無許可使用がバレたら。だからお前が見張るんだよ。僕の足一本でもくれてやる条件なら君はよだれ垂らして引き受けてくれるんだろう。狼だろ。少しは悪くなって箔つけようぜ。
So this guy is all about basically manipulating and
wow.
Like manipulating the others based on their species.
ボスたちはみんなこの顔を見て
She's a Jacob. She's a bunny.
Uh-huh.
No, but you get the
yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. I think at this point they're just setting up a bunch of really broken people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be a thing of who is more messed up in terms of just their life messing them up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then what kind of choices do they make based on their instincts because of their messed up situations? Yeah. Oh, this is the beginning, yeah. Okay. Oh. And showing the care and empathy to look at just a little creature and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so these feedings are orchestrated, methinks.
No, I think he's just having to fight the urges of, you know, being a predator.
But yeah, that's totally what it could be. But what if it was like, yeah, this seems a bit,
I mean, it depends on how much it's, you know,
literal versus, like,
symbolic.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, dang. So she knew what she was doing here. Good grief. This is so well shot and just orchestrated to give us only chooses which beast to shine on.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That was amazing.
Magnificent first episode.
Also, fuck that deer.
Okay. It's a good, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Is that English?
Maybe.
Yeah. Some of it is English, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, this was a lot of very dramatic character introductions.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
This made me mad.
That was heavy, y'all.
That was really heavy.
That was really heavy.
Twisted.
So okay. We do have Zootopia. It's a society based around herbivores and carnivores living together, finding a way to coexist, and the main way that they try and talk about it is instinct suppression. Which, okay, there's so many parallels you can make to that.
Oh yeah.
But let's take with the one within the plot in this instance here. We have a carnivore, most likely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably the one that was literally in the area there that had the red pants and was the gray, bigger, lankier one.
Yep.
But this happens. It's murder, like it's a killing.
Yep.
But there's the complicated facet of that. Yeah. There's the whole instinct thing to deal with here, and this is not something that is easily suppressed.
No,
that is going to be a huge theme moving forward.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I love that in the midst of all of this, they also worked in more traditional bullying kind of situations from schools. I thought that was really good in order to make everything feel like it hits a lot closer to home, so that way when there's all the animal stuff, it is easy to see that they're trying to make the connection to general prejudices and things like that, rather than specifically in the animal kingdom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this. Where do you want to start with this episode?
Well,
because
I think let's just go through the characters that we've been introduced.
Okay,
thus
sure.
far. So we've been introduced to Legoshi or Legoshi. This is kind of our misunderstood kind of boy that's just shouldering the burden of people. Assuming tons of things about him based on just his species and his appearance.
Yep.
So, gotcha. But we know that at the very least, he was capable of being good friends with Tem, and Tem respected him, and they had a very unique dynamic there. We didn't get much with it, but it was a cool way to have Legoshi being brought in as a character that we then empathize with a lot, independent of the fact that he's prejudiced, but also that he was giving the love letter to Els.
Right.
The goat that Tem had a crush on.
And I gotta say, the fact that we didn't see much from Legoshi's perspective in the beginning, other than that bit, very early on, that told us that he was the main character. But then after that, to not see things from his perspective is, well, yeah, we're seeing that other people don't see things from his perspective. That's where the prejudice comes from and things like that, right?
Yep.
Which explains how he's so soft-spoken, so quiet, doesn't talk to people and things like that, because granted, it was right after a devouring, right? But he goes to give a love letter to the crush of one of his friends, and she pulls a pair of scissors on him, right? That, and the thing is,
he did wait until she was alone and it was at night, but still, that is the kind of thing of where it's like,
he will remember that unless he doesn't, because it's just one more thing, right?
In some ways, I think he's just numb to it at this point.
Right.
He is not, I would say, one of the best examples necessarily of what everyone is experiencing in terms of how they react to it, though. I'm sure there are a lot more people that are not in the numb stage where they're so used to it. They're more like, this stuff actively makes me angry. And then they have to then deal with the fact that their instincts are flaring up in the midst of that anger, probably, and then have to suppress them.
Right.
Now we shift, I would say, to the most abruptly, obviously, vocally expressive in a most just hateful way in this story, and that is Lewis. Holy crap.
Piece of shit doesn't do him justice.
Yeah. This was so good in some ways that I have to wonder, when's his character developed? What's his story? Because I almost don't care because I hate him so much. But yet I'm like, the fact that they layered every other character with so many things there, I'm like, they're basically just giving him the simple, just authoritative, power manipulative, bastard personality that I'm like, okay, you're going to give us the other side of the coin at some point, but this is just...
What they're doing here is they're establishing the literal predator and prey with the animals, right? Wolves and sheep and rabbits and all that stuff, right? And then they're reminding us of all those different, not as obvious predator and prey relationships that just happen in the world constantly. And the animal kingdom, in this situation here, just because there's animals and there are literal predators and prey, that doesn't change that fact, right?
It's not so black and white.
We went from the abuse of power in general. We went to the bullying and things like that, even down to almost sexual abuse with the idea of grabbing the tail, right? That's what the hell? Yeah. What the hell? And that is that is possible to come from anywhere, right? This is the person that everyone is like, whoa, he's so awesome, blah, blah, blah.
And behind closed doors, he's a Machiavellian sociopath.
That. Yeah. Oh, man.
There were so many things in the words in which he said, which give off sociopath vibes with regards to this. But the thing that makes it so good, and I'm just so here for it, is that he is charismatic. I can see the literal ways in which he is successfully maneuvering himself in a way that makes him dominant in the relationships that he's working in here. The best example of where we saw it already had been worked on long before the show started was Zoe.
Yeah.
Zoe.
That like
that was so messed up. Now, what's I think really great about this, is that they're very obviously making the point of this deer, by the way, is not the typical predator.
No.
In terms of appearance, in terms of species.
Yep.
And yet, he is the most fearsome thing. Like, the silhouette of the like, kind of like mountain lion type bipedal, creature that attacked attacked Tem in the beginning. Yeah, sure, that's pretty intense. That's pretty scary. But I would say what's more intense was actually seeing Tem's fear and reactions to this whole thing. But the actual just presence of Lewis already in the 120, minute episode we got here, already has me like getting that little bit of animal like fight or flight instinct just seeing him now.
Or devour, like I want him dead. I
am dead. I want his family dead.
His house burned to the ground. Yeah. Like that. Oh man.
So this is just like two really important characters that we've got into thus far. But they shifted things in terms of the story a little bit by bringing in this other character. Shoot, did we even get her name?
Oh frick! We went through all of it and we forgot to get her name. Oh man.
Maybe that's actually the point, is that everyone is so condescending to her.
No one even refers to her by name?
Yeah, but...
Oh, Sally. Or wait, no. Oh, yeah, no, Sally is the roommate.
Sally is the roommate.
Jesus.
Haru.
Okay.
So right. Haru is a bunny.
Yep.
And this is something that I really feel like cannot be taken as a joke. Although the fact that they chose this character to be a rabbit/bunny, the way I'm saying bunny is very intentional right now.
Yep.
Because I think they're about to get into some really really
there's language that we would like to use here, but
yes, but there's some really complicated subject material that I think is going to be gotten into with his character here. Now, let's discuss what we got with this character in the immediate bit.
Yes.
She is in a situation right now where she has a reputation. There are a lot of characters that are avoiding her.
Yep.
Now, what I think it is that she's being ostracized by the popular characters in the school because these characters had something happen where they're blaming Haru for that. And I think the thing is, we basically had it told to us, was that Haru ended up kissing probably the boyfriend.
No, the boyfriend kissed her.
Oh, the boyfriend kissed her.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So in this instance, this is basically the beginning of basically some slut shaming, right? This is kind of the equivalent of that here.
Create some dirt on the person.
Yep.
And
right, but it's based in an event that happened, but then the narrative story around it is being twisted to fit the bullying angle here. What I think is really disturbing here in a specific level is that I think that they're setting up the idea is that this is her type of prejudice that she's dealing with, is that all these guys, probably carnivore and herbivore, are approaching her from the angle of like, I don't know, my instincts, and this is more of a male-female thing, I think specifically here, is my instincts are to protect you or to put myself near you. And then they fool around with her a bit and leave.
Right. There's some preconception of what she's like based on, her being a cute bunny, right? And then that brings them there. And then when they realize that, oh, my preconception is wrong, since they weren't seeing her as an actual person before, they don't see her as an actual person now. And she's hurt by it, right?
But this is nothing new. If anything, I'm guessing what this is it was just some guy that happened to hit the convergence of a couple different factors, and now a lot of the people in the school are being forced to ostracize themselves from her.
One of the things that I loved about Zootopia, and I love that they're covering in this too, is specifically that it's dealing with the animal kingdom. Because when I feel like it's easy for us as human beings to create a disconnect between some of the barbaric things that have been done by humans to humans and all that stuff in the past.
Yep.
Because it's an uncomfortable truth that level of barbarism is something that we are all capable of.
Right.
Whether we choose to do it or not is another thing, but that we are all capable of that. That's a pretty freaking scary thing to think about, right? Yep. And that in this situation, we're showing the animal kingdom, right? And that even within this situation where there is definitive carnivores and herbivores, right? Predators and prey. It is something that is not, doesn't just go one way, right?
Yeah.
The viciousness and the devouring of other people happens constantly on both sides, right?
Yes.
On both sides.
And the thing is that while like this is definitely something where they're going to get in how it can be done in different ways. The point was that throughout this episode, there were so many moments where characters were basically utilizing their position in a specific way to basically not just condescend, but basically flaunt their power over another person. And then there was the other side of things where people were then perceiving people who were in a position just based on their, perceptions, that then that meant that there was some threat or some kind of aspect of them that was dangerous. Right. And we saw that in things where they saw Legoshi behind the stage light, way up in the background there. And a bunch of the people on the ground were like, that's a little freaky.
Yep.
Then we had situations where, Legoshi comes up with the love letter and comes up with the scissors and stuff. But then we also had little instances that we were like, I don't really get why they're doing this, where it's like the cat and the, they might have been both cats, but basically throwing out Haru's stuff. And we think, immediately, they're roommates. That's a really dick thing to do. And it's like, no. This is just something she's dealing with. But when we got up there, we found her actual roommate who did nothing.
Yep.
Did actually nothing.
Right. And
we have the full, not everyone, because it's really complicated, but we have a large spectrum already of people that are in these situations and having to see how people react to this kind of stuff.
And the thing is that much like in real life, there are maybe situations where, where the situation could get so extreme that the response needs to be extreme for your own survival. Right.
It gets really simple really quickly.
It gets really simple really quickly, right?
Absolutely.
Things like Legoshi growling a little bit at the person when he was, actually being physically violent, right?
Legoshi basically ended the fight before it began.
Right. It's like, we're not doing this. Great. Awesome. That roommate, you can't do that with that roommate, right? You can fight back against the people that are actively attacking you, right? It might not help. Who knows?
But what is Haru going to do here?
But what the hell is Haru going to do here, right? And
he's not going to enter into deep relationship. Let's just say with Sally.
Oh, definitely not.
No, but the fact that she has to live with this person, she probably doesn't have much choice in that. It's a thing where we are getting our justice buttons really, really triggered here.
Tap.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's not so black and white.
Right.
I really like in some ways that stories that have a really good commentary on social dynamics, and then when they give them, instead of it being basically the equivalent of being like, we're going to basically point at all the people that are watching this and go like, you're guilty. You're guilty. It's the point of going like, no, you have to watch this.
Right.
You have to watch this. It's not about actually making you feel something a specific way or think something a specific way. It's going, you can't look away from this.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's not that you need to feel guilty. It's just that you need to know, this is an entertaining way to look at something that is rather dark and disturbing, and a reality of life.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And that's the thing. Reality is stranger than fiction. We see this in our blood boils, right? But I could I could say several things right now that I won't for the sake of the algorithm that are much worse than this that humans did. Mm-hmm. We know humans did those things, right?
And humans continue to do these things.
And humans continue to do those things. And for some reason, it gets dismissed or brushed off or whatever. Because
it was just a devouring.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. Murder? Yeah. Like that. And
there's some stuff going on right now that just makes my blood boil right now, where people are calling something not murder. You know. They're like anyway, let's get into the plot again a little bit here, because I want to get at the the primal yet beautiful display of what happened in the bookends of the episode here.
Yeah.
So Legoshi is having to deal with the fact that the full moon shines on us all, but sometimes it shines brighter on a specific one. Mm-hmm. So he is a wolf.
Yep.
He is a natural predator of a rabbit.
Yep.
In this instance here, we got basically, I would say, some kind of dramatized version of what would be a really intense expression feeling of like, oh, don't... Oh, my instincts take over, and he leaps on Haru. Haru seemed to be in some ways, now this is a very weird way to phrase this, but I think in some ways Haru seemed to be setting this up specifically so it would happen. Now, I don't think she has anything specifically against Legoshi or anything like that. But I don't even think she necessarily knew he was there. But she knew he was there.
Right. But she was walking around by herself late at night when someone had literally just been eaten.
And I think she was basically in such a low place right now that she's like, I might as well get eaten. This life is horrible. This life is actively making me want to die.
And she said as much.
Yeah. What did she actually say, like literally though? Because it was really some heavy stuff. Yeah, I don't care anymore. You can have me, but I want you to know that even a pathetic creature like me can still feel terror and cry and flee. Because her instincts take over in this moment here.
Yeah, I want to live.
I want to live even if suddenly overrides every ounce of will that brought you here. And you're like, nope, I know what is going to happen, so I am going to run. And then the amazing happens in a way that is so just terrifying and beautiful, in that she looks like she's about to cry. He looks like he's about to cry. His eyes are wide in a way that makes him feel makes me feel like that he's scared of himself right now.
Oh, definitely.
He is so terrified of what he could do here that it is taking every bit of him just to hold his own arms here.
Right. And yet it is also something where he is embracing her, which might not be something something that he is aware of, or that she is whatever. Right. But that this is something that no one would do to her, right? They shun her, they avoid her, right? And
now, but actually, wait, go into this. Keep going.
That there is the possibility. Now, no, not really. They'll get to know each other in like the second episode probably, and like talk about a lot of this stuff, right? But as far as a picture goes, the idea that in this place where Haru is at her absolute lowest, fine, eat me, but at least I'll run and I'll make you know that I was scared, right? That the person that everyone would have least expected is the one to accept and embrace.
Well, I want to bring up...
Not that that's necessarily what was happening, because the context was way different.
But I want to bring up that idea of embracing.
Oh.
This is literally the thing that then she's kind of sick and tired of happening to her all the time.
Sure, so that is a very big potential conflict and trust issue in the future.
Right, this might be setting up a thing of where he's like, I need to protect her from me. So then he goes into some kind of an awkward dynamic with her, and I do not want that to happen, because that can lead to all kinds of just messed up stuff. So
and yet at the same time, it could be this wonderful place for them to be able to understand each other, understand themselves, and most importantly, accept themselves. Because the thing was shown like throughout this episode was that idea of repression, right? Whether it's for the carnivores and repression. Right. Well, because suppression is from the outside, repression is something from the inside, right?
Yes.
So there is suppression from the society.
Yes.
But But Lugosi is a walking embodiment of that being taken inside,
yes,
and then it being
right.
a self-repression, right?
Right.
So and then in her case here, she is being suppressed by the society and everyone around her, and there is an aspect of that might turn into repression or something potentially worse. And
I think this was her act of repression. It was the ultimate act of repression. I want to die. She right. came out here in some ways to die.
Yeah.
And like, guys, like, this is just the first episode of the show. We are dealing with like all kinds of really dark subject matter here. Now, this is all on the backdrop, though, of the typical kind of school environment.
Yep.
Now, what I think needs to be kind of like really honed in on thematically is that Lewis represents the character who is suppressing, like you were saying, but in some ways, everything he says is about, why don't you act your nature for once?
Yeah, so
but my point is that of all the creatures we've seen thus far, he is the main one that is acting against his own nature.
So have you seen a deer? They aren't exactly charismatic. Like
deer are in some ways actually some of the most hated creatures by humans because they just don't give a rat's ass about humans. So they'll just walk in and just devour everything. So I in some ways want to bring up the idea that while this is about instinct suppression and repression, what we're setting up here is a cast of characters where each one of them are already actively repressing a part of themselves, but over the course of time via relationships, they're actually going to help each other express. But because of the fact that they're all going to be bad at it, there will be tons of drama associated with that before things get even close to getting better.
And I will also say that so in a situation with freaking Lewis,
Lewis, just that name now just makes me want to vomit.
I know.
Sorry for anyone named Lewis.
Right.
Jeez.
Man, as far as ways to make hate a character very quickly, that's one of them. But Lewis is, in some ways, the one who understands better than anyone else what the ideal state is.
Whoa, really? Okay, yeah, get into that.
And he's using it in a very twisted and screwed up way, right?
Right.
In that you don't want to repress yourself. You want to let yourself be free. The issue is that then he's taking that and he's saying, okay, in order to rise to the top of the food chain, in order to rise to the top of this animal kingdom that I'm in, I will make sure that everyone else is repressing themselves and is all this stuff
with relation to me. Yeah.
Because then I will rule over them. I will do that thing that maybe I was never able to do, which, by the way, studies have shown that when you repress something about yourself, it actually just makes it worse.
It makes it way worse.
It makes it way worse, right? So acceptance is the best way to go about it, right?
Yeah. And live with the fact that, yes, like Lugosi, for instance, the way for his health is to acknowledge, yes, you have the capacity,
but that doesn't define
all those
you.
things. But that has nothing to do with your identity. And this is probably the thing that they'll get into, like slow burn over the course of time, probably like long into the show, is that all these characters could easily be defined as, oh, that's the goat, that's the wolf, that's the bunny, that's the deer. They have names, y'all. We are in this, like, if you accept this world as, with your suspension of disbelief, these characters have names. They're people. They have desires, dreams. They have little things that they want and they don't want, and
hurts and worries.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Everything.
And that's something where if we have some, kind of imagined animal type world where they're more humanoid and anthropomorphic in that regard, there's so much that can be got into by this kind of lateral form of world building here.
Because we are still animals. We are more than animals, but we are still animals, right?
Absolutely.
So these kinds of things, this is a great way to deal with it at a distance so that we can actually get into the nitty gritty of it.
Because anime is really good at bridging that gap with regards to storytelling. And y'all, we didn't even talk about this, but the 3D was really
fantastic.
Good. Like, not only was it really good, I felt the movements of the characters.
Yeah.
This was something that I thought was going to be really hard to do. Is that if you have all these different animals, right? Different animals walk different ways.
Sure.
But here's the thing that's kind of dark and twisted about that. Everyone is walking around bipedal, right? So they're already suppressed and repressed.
Yep, exactly.
So the point in the beginning of the show, the first scene where we see him already crouched on all fours, that was when he started to show his true nature, if you want to go the animal route. But in terms of who he is, I like that in some ways Legoshi is still the biggest mystery as to actually who he is, what he wants, what are some of his dreams, desires, things like that. We don't actually know much about him comparatively to Lewis, Els, Zoe,
the other characters,
Haru. Like they all have almost, I would say, pretty clear motivations and things like that. Legoshi's is more something that's we're assuming
implied,
based on themes,
and the way he carries himself and everything. And by the way, because when I said the whole thing about Lewis wants the other creatures to suppress themselves so that he can be higher, he still encourages them to give in to their nature,
right?
But it's as a negative thing of
it's manipulative.
Well, it's hella manipulative, right?
Right.
But because that's as a way to try and box them in of saying that's kind of all you are, right?
You're a goat. Why don't you? Of course you ate the script.
Right.
What are you guys good for?
Yeah. Whereas in an ideal situation, you'd be like, he could be like, yeah, I'm a goat. If I want to eat a script sometime, maybe I will. But, I'm not going to do that, right? Because this script is important, and I know the goat didn't actually eat the script, but
he might have actually.
Who knows? Maybe he did, right?
I think that point is that we don't know.
We don't know, but it's not really important, right? So in the case of Legoshi, it's like, maybe there is a part of me that really wants to that's a good question. How do the restaurants work in this world?
Well, before we get into the questions of this world working here, there are so many parallels to just growing up that you could go into with regards to a teenager dealing with urges.
Sure.
You don't even have to go into a sexual nature. You can just go into any kind of
the rebelling against the parents and I need my own space and all that stuff.
That's so relatable. So the idea of human beings being highly evolved animals with urges, and a lot of what makes this whole thing work is that, we don't act on every single one of our instincts and urges. Sometimes it's really good to act on them, and because, it's done in a way that is safe in an environment that encourages it, and with people that will, I would say, be gracious when you're, acting out those urges. So that's good. The urge in and of itself is not evil or good. It just is.
Yeah.
So when you're in a situation where you are overwhelmed by that, I would say having that kind of list of things is what's really important. And what we've established, I would say primarily with Legoshi, is that he's alone.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have anyone. Right. And if anything, he did maybe kind of have someone in temp. They were at least acquaintances to the point of being like, a little bit friendly. And now he doesn't.
Right. Now,
and he has to deal with the fact that, someone probably in this school did this.
Right. Well, and potentially in more ways than one. So maybe this is tinfoil hat, right?
Okay.
But the visuals that they did for the scenes, right? I am absolutely all for the idea that it is an artistic thing in order to bring us into the senses and the perspective of Legoshi and the other animals and things like that, and how they perceive things, right?
Right.
Love it. Awesome.
Totally.
If it's not that,
oh, okay.
And this is kind of what they did in Zootopia, so I don't want to relegate it to that, but
yeah, I feel like it also kind of trivializes the discussion, so I almost want to, because I know what you're going for is that there's something that's forcing this upon individuals.
Right, because this seems set up, right? That in this situation, like that there are specific times where this is being set up to be allowed to happen, and you know.
Right, I'm with you, but I still think if you look at the discussion surrounding this topic, it does simplify it, in my opinion, a little bit too much if we make it to be the thing of where there's some...
mind control kind of a thing. Or
any kind of force that is actively trying to make this more plausible. If anything, I thought you were going to bring it up with how Lewis specifically told Kai, yeah, you're just done after 2 years, straight up there, because he likes the idea of the predators in some ways kind of like having to like suppress themselves, and he like gets off on seeing Kai being like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Right, exactly.
You're gonna try and devour me?
Well, and like, and even if they don't do even if it is something that is influenced but not in like a mind control kind of way, because that can trivialize it.
Right.
It could even be something of, oh no, maybe Lewis was thinking it's a full moon tonight. You know, like if that was something where, like, if there was some factor that is not that would have an effect, because werewolves and wolves, different things, whatever, you know. But if there was something where it's like, I know that this is going to be where I'm setting essentially up the predators for failure, so that they will be more inclined to feed. Sure. You know, even if he's not actually doing something that will force them to.
Right, and I think I get that. I want to put out another idea though of intentionality with regards to this, and that is the one character in this that we know had some intention involved in this, and that's Haru. Haru intentionally came out there to die. What if she wore like a specific scent on her that she knows, generally speaking, predators are more attracted to? What if she specifically, because this is a thing with regards to the typical animal kingdom thing right there, animals can smell fear. So even if it wasn't intentionally like sending out a wave of fear, what if that fear that she naturally had about, oh my God, am I really doing this? Like part of her like really rejecting the idea. He's just the natural predator of this whole thing. And he smells it in the wind and he's like, oh God, it's coming on me. Like, because it reminds me in some ways, like, I hate making this comparison here, but it reminds me of in the first Twilight. When he smells her through the fan, and I hate that I'm making this comparison. I'm cringing at myself. But it could be a thing where it's then like, oh, my instincts are taking over, and Legoshi is just not as strong-willed enough to be able to suppress it. And the implications of what I'm saying here, and what it kind of, I know what I'm saying here. This is really messed up stuff, but it's something that very much could have been an intentional aspect of Haru's,
and regardless, like even if it isn't, right?
Even if it isn't,
the fact that there's factors here, they're going to get into it. And it's going to be really complicated. Like they could have it be something as simple as Lewis ends up just sort of like donning a mask and being like, ho ho, I have a goatee and mustache or something like that.
No, this is not that kind of show.
Definitely not that kind of show, right?
No,
right.
I'm expecting, if anything, a Lewis like actual character development arc, like way in the future. And because he's too sociopathic.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the Lewis monologue, because I feel like
I think all these characters are going to monologue.
Definitely.
This is a stage performance. They're literally actors.
Yep. And also, by the way, whatever level of dramatic that Lewis ends up getting into, it fits for him as a character because one, other than being just effing amoral, right, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
He is also an actor. He is a performer.
Actually,
right?
hold on. Keep going. I just wanted to say, like, are any of them actually the ones that go on the stage, though?
Lewis is. He was like the lead. Yeah, and that was.
He is the lead. You're right.
That was what Legoshi was saying. Is we don't do anything that might jeopardize the actors, and he's one of the big ones, right?
Right. So as a backstage person, he's also doubling a little bit of security, probably.
Yeah, basically just like making sure that everything on the stage
is just working out fine.
Right. That the play works and goes out without a hitch. The show must go on.
Okay, gotcha.
And so,
but Legoshi and Haru are not.
Right. Yeah. But in this situation, that would mean that Lewis specifically would have not only potential reason and plenty of dark, twisted perspectives to talk about, but also the personality where he probably would. Like, the thing that blew me away was that he was doing all of this stuff when everyone was listening in. What the hell?
Well, like, okay, we don't know at what point they started to listen in.
And after the Kai left, maybe they stopped listening in at that point, right? And that's when he, and who knows? And he was
before that. He was very much handling Zoe, which is
it's both curious, but then also really dark and twisted that he does that while still maintaining that image when people. It's not like they don't know that there's this side of him. Oh, so like, is there this part of people that, like,
I want to get into this really quickly here,
where it's the security versus freedom kind of a thing, right? Where even if they know that he's an effed up monster, right? Well, he's not a carnivore, so he won't eat us. So it's the he's on our side kind of a thing, right?
Oh, jeez.
He'll help out. If he's a bit rough around the edges, that's okay. Like.
Yeah. So I want to get into this with a specific thing. I was watching a video recently, and it was discussing some people that were basically in a relationship, and one of the aspects about the relationship that was rather odd was that one of the members of the relationship specifically would ignore the red flags of the other person in the relationship. But because there were so many like green flags with regards to things in the relationship, they were like, oh, I really see those. But whenever a red flag is brought up, they quickly avert their own eyes intentionally. Sorry. It looks intentional.
Right.
But when you hear them talk about it, you realize they're unaware. They don't know what they don't know. So then
it's
when
very Animal Kingdom kind of a thing.
Right. So what it might be is that Lewis is one of those characters where he has a lot of problems. But because everyone filters it through a specific light, they then go, oh, that's because, in my opinion, this is kind of the this is the reason why the trash boy of every anime, that's kind of like the pretty but asshole.
He's cute.
He's
cute.
Just
misunderstood.
He's just misunderstood.
There's nothing misunderstood about Lewis.
Exactly.
And there might be something.
There is definitely something, but the point is that there's still the aspect that you need to take responsibility for your actions. So I think Lewis is just in one of those situations where he's power tripping.
Oh, definitely.
Why wouldn't he? He's always getting what he wants. But the reason why when people hear maybe stuff like this, or people get instances of stuff like that, they're either scared of confronting him. So there's that. There's also the aspect of where he has a lot of people that see him in a specific way, and when stuff comes up that contradicts that, it gets re-added into the narrative of him being so great because of all these other things that are filtered that way. That is totally a thing people do.
Oh yeah.
And I just brought up the joking. I just brought up the joking thing about fangirls with regards to characters that are just
But I mean, come on, we all know.
But that's not a fangirl specific thing. That's just a people thing.
That's just a people thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes to some dark places.
It's just really funny as well, because any question that completely just kind of undermines the entire tiny sand foundation that they've got for this whole filter for this person. Suddenly it's like, they are so defensive about it. It is so funny to see it happen, because you're like, wow, so this is a delusion that either way, you're either so deluded that you don't know that you're deluded, or you're so deluded that once anything comes up that kind of starts to harm the delusion's foundations a little bit, you basically become a scaredy cat and run away. Sorry, just trying to make an animal pun in there, but
but again, I love that it's doing the both sides of everything. It's the yin and the yang, where it's the positive and the negative, but then there's also the spot of the opposite inside each one, and
But that's a great thing to also reference of as an image as well. It's like an Ouroboros where cycle,
right. It's a cycle. Yeah,
the cycle is
It just keeps going. It keeps going, and that's something that I feel like it's a lot easier to do when you have the sort of indirection of it being animals rather than say it being people.
Gotcha.
So,
but hey, y'all, 2020 watching Beastars.
Yep.
It's a hell of a time to be doing this. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion to this amazing premiere of a show. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the awesome community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote and published.
Yes, that's right. If you want something a bit more positive, maybe.
Yeah.
I wrote a sci-fi novel. It's called Battle Lines. It's a lot of fun, and it's on Amazon for purchase. Link in the description down below.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.